From the White House reports that words like Islamic extremism and jihad would be removed from the National Security Strategy document. What's that, you say? And is this an about-face from the previous administration? Peter Brookes, Senior Fellow of the Heritage Foundation, also a former CIA officer and former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense. Peter, good morning to you. It's been a while.
Good morning, Bill.
Why are they doing this? And I guess the better question is, why does the White House think Islamic extremism is so radioactive as a phrase?
I mean, assuming this report is true, it's outrageous. It's like 9/11 never happened. This document is required by the Congress, and I think it misleads the Congress. I think it misleads the American people, and perhaps worst of all, it misleads the American troops. I mean, this does not change anything by leaving this out. It's a heavy dose of PC, and I think it's more whistling past the graveyard. This administration has adopted this policy that if we're just nice to the bad guys, they'll be nice to us. And as you can see, this hasn't happened.
Hey, Peter,
we had Detroit, we had Fort Hood.
What is the National Security Strategy document anyway? What is that?
It's a required, yes, each administration is required by Congress in law to put together a national security strategy to present to Congress as these are my priorities, these are the challenges we see coming ahead. It's an unclassified document. You'll be able to read it online. And it's one of these sort of things that's really, it will be read overseas and it will be read by a lot of people, but it's really meant for the Congress who represent the American people and certainly our troops when you're talking about issues of war.
Yeah, and words matter. What do we get from this if we alter the words?
Well, I think, I can't speak for the Obama administration because I'm not a fan of their foreign policy, but my sense is maybe they think that if we don't say this, it'll change Osama bin Laden's mind or something. And I don't see that happening. You know, we just had Detroit in December. We had Fort Hood last fall. We've had the spate of domestic terror problems. And I think you have to call things what they are. Call a spade a spade. So I think maybe they're hoping that if it doesn't look like we're worried about this, maybe it'll cut down on recruiting for al-Qaeda.
But that sounds, that sounds a lot like the nuclear decision that was announced yesterday.
Yeah.
And that is we're going to lead by example, and the rest of the world may or may not follow us.
And that's right, and that's what they're hoping. They're hoping that if we lead by example, it'll give us credibility, give us legitimacy, and it will change the national interests of these individuals or these countries. It hasn't changed Iran's view on its nuclear program one bit. North Korea hasn't come back to the negotiating table on nuclear issues since the Obama administration came into office. We've had a whole run of potential plots against the United States, terrible attacks against CIA officers in Afghanistan, the plot in Detroit, the Fort Hood. I don't see this changing anything at all. And like I said, I think this is a real outrage. We should call something what it is. This is also a battle of ideas, and we need to separate the good people of the Muslim world from the bad people that are the terrorists.
I hear your point on that. Do you think, just flip it all the way around here, maybe there's something going on in the back room? Maybe there's some sort of strategy that's being worked out. If we change the words on this, maybe you get something out of Karzai in Afghanistan. Maybe you get something out of the newly seated government in Baghdad. It's possible.
That's certainly a possibility. I think it's incumbent upon the Obama administration to make that clear to the American people, because it's not clear to me, and I'm sure it's not going to be clear to other people, and I think a lot of people are going to be very offended by this decision if it's true. Now, remember, this is just a report right now. The report is not out, but it's supposed to be out shortly. If this is true, I think it's going to offend a lot of people.
Peter Brookes, thank you for your time today. We will wait for more on that.
Bill.
It's also on our website now at foxnews.com.